Okay, I am going to cook these greens. First of all, you got to wash them because they're dirty. And if you've ever had your own patch of greens in your garden, you know they can be really dirty. Now, I cut the ends off. Some people leave them on, but I don't. I don't like all those hard leaves in there. You know, if you cook greens all day long, you'll cook those big stems down. But I prefer not to have them. Okay, I got some water in this sink and I'm swishing them around. And just make sure your sink is clean. And I'm going to wash these up and I will come back after I have cut them and washed them, or cut the stems off, I should say. Okay, I've cut all the big stems off and put them in some water, swished them around. Now I'm draining that water off. And you'll see how dirty they can be. And don't be surprised if you find insects in there. And there'll be a little kind of sandy dirt on the bottom. Load them up with water again. Okay, they've been washed twice. I even found a dried up leaf in there. And a fly, a dead fly. Okay, now this is what, 6 bunches of greens. Now I'm gonna cut them, and the reason I cut mine is when I take a bite of greens, I don't like it hanging from my fork. So if I cut them, then they tend not to do that. And I'm going to put them in more water, because just about the time you think they're clean, they're not. So let me get these out of here. Cut up some more. Now I'm going to finish these and I'll bring you back. Alright, I have cut all the greens and put them in another sink of water to wash them off. I'll get them all piled up here. And I can tell you, it looks like a lot, but it's going to cook down. Just like when you cook fresh spinach, how it cooks down. That's how greens are. And remember, this is a mix of collard greens, mustard greens, and turnip. So collard, mustard, and turnip. Yeah. And, you know, I've had each one of those individually, but I just like mine mixed. So that's how I'm making it for me. And Darla. Okay. That's pretty clean. Now let me take them over to the sink. Okay. I have maybe a cup of water in my cast iron Dutch oven. And I'm going to season my greens with some vegetable bouillon. Stir that around. Okay, and I will drop them into that boiling water so they can start oh, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm always looking for my words. So they start wilting down. All right, now just pour this water in there. Okay. Now, those can cook for, I don't know, I don't even know, an hour and a half or 2 hours. But I got a lot more to say about greens. I put the top on that. I'll let them heat through and then I'll turn it down. Okay. Now you notice I didn't put any meat in there. I didn't use hog jowl, salt pork, ham hock, or ham. That's just a personal preference. With stomach issues, I don't want to add any more, but any one of those things, salt pork, hog jowl, ham hock, or ham, like, you know, when you buy a big ham for a family dinner and you eat it and you can save the bone, you can cook up a pot of Great Northern beans with that leftover ham bone in there. You can also put that in your greens. And of course, your greens are going to really taste good with all either of those choices that you want to put in there. But because of stomach issues, I'm not putting any of that in there. And I wouldn't eat up a package of salt pork or hog jowl anytime soon. So financially, it's just better that I not put it in there. But you know, if you're going to cook for a big family dinner, then that might be worth it. But just for me, no. And I mean, you could use bacon, but you know, well, it's better with salt pork, hog jowl, ham hock, or a ham bone. Okay, I'm going to let those cook. I'm not going to put any red pepper flakes in there. I like putting it in there, red pepper flakes for, you know, a little spice, you know, but these are just plain. There's about a cup of water, about a tablespoon of olive oil, and some of that vegetable bouillon. And I'm just going to let them cook. And I'll be back when they're ready to eat. Okay, if I'm going to be eating greens, I need to have a pan of cornbread. So, Darla also asked about cornbread. So I will make some cornbread. I've got my cast iron skillet. I'm going to put in enough oil to cover the bottom so that when I pour the oil in there, it goes to the edges. So I don't really know how much that is. 3 or 4 tablespoons, 1/4 of a cup, something like that. Twirl it around and make sure it gets on the edges. And I'm going to put this in the oven and let that pan and that oil, which is canola oil, and let it get really hot, because that, for me, makes the best cornbread. Okay, now usually when I make cornbread, I just dump it all in there. But since I'm showing Darla, I'm gonna use my measurements. Now, whatever is left in this package of cornmeal is what I'm going to use. So the recipe on the back of the package says 2 cups of Martha White cornmeal mix. So let me see how much is in here. Well, how about that? Two cups, or 2 cups and a couple of tablespoons. Okay, then it calls for 1 large egg, and it tells me to put it in the bottom of the bowl and mix it, but I don't do it that way. Oh, I'm going to get eggshell in here because it doesn't want to come loose. There it goes. Oh, yeah, got an eggshell. use, okay, got that out. Alright, says 1/4 of a cup of oil, which I'm not going to put in there because I'm going to pour it from my hot skillet. 1½ cups of buttermilk. I use my low-fat buttermilk. When I ordered it, I thought it was going to be full flavor, but it wasn't. Okay. And I learned from my mother to always add a touch of sugar to baked goods like, you know, biscuits or cornbread. It helps your baked goods to brown real good. Okay, let me pour in this buttermilk, 1½ cups. All right, stir that around. And because cornbread is considered a quick bread, you want to mix it quickly. It doesn't take a long time. And on the back of the package it says it needs to be pourable. That's pretty thick. So I am going to add a little bit more buttermilk. You know, if you cook cornbread all the time, which I've done over my lifetime, you kind of get a feel for it and know how it should be. And I don't put any flour in my batter. I like mine to be all cornmeal. Okay. Now let me get that pan out of the oven. It ought to be pretty hot by now. At least I hope it is. Okay. Feels pretty hot. Now I want to pour that in there. Stir that around. Okay. Still not hot like I want it to be. I mean, it needs to be really hot so when you put your cornbread batter in there, it goes shh. Okay. But it'll still be good. Alright, now that needs to cook for 20 to 25 minutes. The package of cornmeal mix is $4.50, and I've got it on about $4.25. Between $400 and $4.50 is good. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, let me check on these greens. Okay. Needs more water. It's just like your washing machine. You want to have plenty of water in there so your laundry can float around in the water, and that's what you need for greens, a little more liquid. Okay. Stir them around because they get packed in there. Okay. Yummy. Can't wait to eat them. Alright. Alright. Supper is ready. I have greens. That would be collard, mustard, and turnip greens. I went ahead and put a sweet potato in the air fryer to cook. And then I have cornbread. And so let me serve up my plate. I'm going to put a little butter on here and some cinnamon. Okay, let's see. Cornbread. I'm going to put butter on this, but I think I won't since I put butter on my sweet potato. Alright, now let me get some greens. Now some black-eyed peas would be good with this dinner, but this should be enough. Okay, and I'm going to let these greens continue to cook a little longer. I can still feel they got a little bite to them. That's okay. But I'm ready to eat. I am hungry. Okay, here we go. Greens, baked sweet potato, and cornbread. Oh, now let me taste these greens. Oh, that's good. Now, I like pepper sauce on mine. I don't have any. I've actually ordered some from Amazon because the grocery store didn't have any. But it's when I get it, I'll show you what it looks like for people that don't know. Now, I'm just going to call this a Tennessee supper. I was born and raised in Tennessee my whole life. And this is what I like to eat. And I'm hoping, there's always hope, that this dinner will rest on my stomach good. So, thank y'all for coming. Y'all have a good evening, a good day, a good afternoon. And remember, please be kind to someone. Someone needs your kindness today. Bye. Oh, I forgot to tell you, one of the most important things about greens is the potlikker. I had to come back for a second helping the greens. I'll get some more greens and some of that potlikker. Potlikker is the juice. You know, you can just drink it because it's so good. Alright, I'm just going to let those cook some more. And I did add a little salt and pepper to these. They were needing a little something. Alright, that's all I wanted to add.